Today, I'm going to tell you what to do about rising interest rates if you are a home buyer. Maybe it's not what you want to hear. I mean, do you want to sit on the sidelines forever and wait? I wouldn't. But also, I'm not going to tell you to rush in and buy something when interest rates are allegedly high. But there's a couple of things at play here. First, my name is Jonathan Green. I run a big on-market real estate team called Streamline Properties On Market, brokered by eXp Realty. We're hearing it all the time. Rates are going up. They hit 5 this week. What am I going to do? The first thing that I think of is rates aren't actually that high. Rates were just astronomically low during the pandemic. I mean, under 3% is crazy low. My parents and most of your parents were paying 7, 8, 10, 17% on mortgages. So, is 5% bad? I mean, it's worse than it was, but I think historically it's fine. This is just what it costs. So when I hear people say, well, I'm just going to wait it out, the first thing that I ask is, well, how long are you willing to wait? Because what evidence really is there that there's going to be a change? It's all just guessing. Are interest rates going to go up? Sure, the Fed said they're going to go up again. So we already knew that was going to happen. I don't know when they're going to come back down. You definitely don't know what they're going to come back down. Nobody knows. I wouldn't buy into this whole bubble effect. This isn't 2008, but I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not Kreskin. I can't predict what's going to happen. What I can tell you is every time that we offer for a buyer on a home, there's a bunch of other offers, and those people are not stopping. Some maybe you're going to have some bit of the people in the market now who are just going to take a break, maybe decide to re-sign their lease, maybe decide to lease for a year. But what are you going to do if you do that and then all of a sudden rates go down or there's a big influx of houses on the market? Because sellers are still doing fine. Is it affecting your buying power as a home buyer? Sure. That's just the way that it works though. So I just get confused when we get into these cycles where things you have literally no control over the interest rates. So you either want to buy a home or you don't want to buy a home. There's definitely times that are more advantageous to buy a home, but rates were really good. Maybe you were trying then and you couldn't get one. It's just as competitive now and prices are much, much higher. So does that mean you should wait? I mean, maybe, but what if you knew you were going to buy now, even in a high market, and still get appreciation? So that whatever you're spending, you're going to spend it in rent. Rent rates are going up, by the way. So you're going to pay more in rent and get zero equity. So, should we all freak out about interest rates? It definitely affects our business as realtors, but it's out of my control. It's out of your control. So the one thing I would caution you to do is stop trying to go around to 100 different lenders to get the best price. Whenever you bargain shop anything, you're going to end up with a much worse product. Either the communication is going to be bad, the vetting is going to be bad, the promises are going to be bad. I personally don't like shopping for anything. I just want to trust a vetted source and stick with it. Sometimes it's going to be a little more expensive than others. I'm good with that. You don't have to be good with that, but don't think that you can get an online mortgage approval without sending any documents and that's going to be worth anything. It's just not. You can input anything until somebody physically reviews your documents, credit, employment history, bank accounts. That's not a pre-approval, and that's not getting accepted in any areas where we're making offers, because everybody's going to read through and realizes it's just an online approval. You just plug some information in and it tells you you're going to get 3.8 or 3.9 or 4.1 when everybody else is getting 5. So how would that be possible? It's not like there's a huge discrepancy in the reality of lenders. Pretty concentrated as to rates are going up and down. So if there's a super bargain available, I would be worried. I don't want to be the outlier at the bargain bin because you never know if that thing's actually going to work. So what are you going to do with interest rates? I don't know. I can't tell you. And I have nothing bad to say for people to say we're going to step away from the market. I just want to remind you, there's no guarantee that the market is changing in these areas and in a lot of areas. The appreciation and appraisal values are so high, some areas are going to definitely take a dip, but solid areas that have been solid for the last 5 years are not going into the tank. They're going up. People who bought in the beginning of the pandemic have made 10, 20, 30%. Maybe that's a lot. I mean, I know people have made a lot of money. So what's to think you can't buy now even when it's high and it's still going to go up in some areas? No one's going to force you to buy a home. But what I would tell you is don't use interest rates as an excuse. They were abnormally low. Now they're like a little bit high, but historically, not really. Hope this was helpful. I'll see you later.